First, right now on the night team, we have two live views for you tonight of a very cold Kentuckiana at this hour with snow flurries still crisscrossing the viewing area. And downtown Louisville right here still looking very much like Christmas with all the different lights out there tonight. You can see the green and red on the one tower. And now let's switch our live downtown camera to the view looking east right up the Ohio River at the downtown bridges. Also showing some Christmas colors tonight. Our weather's been crazy the past 24 hours. Record high temperatures. Then the big crash with those strong Arctic winds in the area tonight. Hi, everybody, and good to be with you on this week leading up to a new year. I'm Doug Proffitt. Chief Meteorologist Mallory Schnell is right here at the beginning of our newscast. And Mallory, any of that snow going to stick to the ground overnight?
I think most of it's just going to blow around tonight, but we're still seeing quite a bit of those snow flurries on the radar this evening. You can really see them on Max HD radar. And I want to zoom into one area that has slightly higher reflectivity than others. This is really from Fort Knox down to Lebanon Junction throughout Nelson County, around Bardstown, up to Spencer County as well. So you might be getting some decent flurries at this hour, but for the most part, that air, yes, it's still very dry, and we're still dealing with some breezy conditions. Wind gusts not nearly as high as they were this morning, but we are continuing to see gusts 10 to 20 miles per hour. And of course, that's giving us a wind chill. So temperatures have been fairly steady in the 20s all day, but it feels like the teens. And we're certainly feeling that. Sustained winds coming in around 12 miles per hour. And once again, that dew point, it is low, it is dry. So your hourly planner through tonight, expect temperatures to hang out in the 20s, maybe drop into the upper teens. We are expecting a bit more sunshine tomorrow, but those high temperatures only looking to top out near that freezing mark. We'll take a look at our New Year's Eve and New Year's Day forecasts. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Mallory, thank you. We are following a late developing story right here tonight. Brooks Houck is on the move. He is serving a life sentence for his role in killing Crystal Rogers of Bardstown. Houck has now been transferred to the Roederer Minimum Security Prison in LaGrange of Oldham County. The notice was sent out today by VINE, that's the Victim Notification System. Now, after the murder trial in Bardstown, he had been sent to an Eastern Kentucky facility. Now he's at the Roederer Assessment Center, where he will be classified and then assigned to his permanent prison for the rest of his life. Houck is still appealing his prison sentence before the Kentucky Supreme Court. Court records show his attorneys have filed a motion requesting more time to file an appellate brief, which is due by January 2nd. The state's high court has yet to rule on that motion. Also new tonight and only on the WHAS11 night team, it is the Christmas miracle. We're talking about River Road, and the miracle is for all those businesses. The water company's pipeline project is now finished along the popular scenic route. And in a sudden move, River Road is now open with new pavement and no more roadblocks or delays. WHAS11 night team's Alex Dieterer and photojournalist Aspen Hester have reaction from one restaurant using it to ring in the new year.
A smooth ride down River Road. No detours, no blockades, all fresh pavement for miles, for the first time in months. The only remnants of 7 months of River Road construction left behind are a few scattered curves, a sign, and lingering headaches for Brent George, owner of Cunningham's Creekside.
A lot of different challenges this year.
On top of road construction, businesses along River Road, like Cunningham's, also dealt with historic flooding in April that caused them to shut their doors for weeks.
This has been percentage-wise, year versus year, the worst year we've ever had.
George says the challenge now that River Road is fully back open is spreading the word to customers.
Everything is back to normal on River Road. We're still getting calls on a daily basis asking us if we're open. And we never closed during any of that project, but there was just an anticipation or a feeling that maybe we were. I think there was a thought that there was big, the roads had huge ditches and things like that, which never existed.
The Louisville Water Company started its waterline project back in March to replace a 50-year-old pipe. Workers installed more than 3,000 pieces of pipe along nearly 6 miles of trench. Water Company spokesperson Kelly Deering-Smith posted this video on its Facebook account.
We want to thank you for your patience. We know this has not been easy. For nearly 7 months, you've put up with detours and delays. all for the convenience of high-quality, safe drinking water.
While more work still needs to be done along River Road, it won't be anything like what's been going on since March. The Louisville Water Company says they're planning to finish the restoration work in spring of 2026 and hoping to be completely finished by next summer. Meaning business is finally back to normal for restaurant staff.
You know, servers and bartenders depend on tips. Other personnel depends on hours, and both of them were cut because of all the the lack of lack of business, quite frankly. Now it's over with. Let's just get back to having fun.
Just in time to ring in a new year. Along River Road, Alex Dieterer, the WHAS11 night team on your side.
By the way, to follow along on all the River Road updates, you can head to this story right on our website, WHAS11.com. All new tonight, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear announcing Kentucky's Rural Health Transformation Plan has been accepted in full by the Trump administration. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services says this program is a $50 billion initiative to strengthen health care in rural communities across the country. In 2026, states will receive first-year awards from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, averaging $200 million. Andy Beshear saying in a release this secures $212.9 million in funding to lessen the impacts of the recent federal cuts, and it also helps support health care in Kentucky's rural communities and rural hospitals. For the state of Indiana, Governor Braun announcing Indiana is getting nearly $207 million for the first year from the same program. In Braun's release, he says Indiana's rural communities are the backbone of the Hoosier State, and this investment will help ensure that every Hoosier, regardless of where they live, has access to high-quality, sustainable health care. Starting this Thursday, January 1st, Kentuckians will be paying less in individual income tax. On January 1st, it's going to drop from 4% to 3.5%. Here's an example of how this impacts your wallet. Kentucky's median household income is roughly $64,000 a year. That household will go from paying just over $2,500 in individual state income tax to about $2,250 or about $322 in savings. Now, we talked to customers at the Save-A-Lot grocery store on Taylor Boulevard in the South End about the change.
It'll help me. Be a little bit on groceries, a little bit on gas. Every dollar in my pocket counts, I watch every penny.
Republican Kentucky lawmakers who passed the income tax cut suggest tourism and more people paying sales tax will help make up for the lost revenue. That money helps fund public education and road projects. Another new Kentucky law goes into effect impacting smoke shops. This is a law to help stop teen vaping and requires smoke shops to be registered with the state. Under the new law, Alcohol and Beverage Control can make unannounced visits to shops to ensure that they are not selling to minors. And in just a couple of days in Indiana, new limits are coming to SNAP benefit recipients. A ban on using SNAP money to buy sugary drinks and candy starts on New Year's Day. It's part of an initiative by Governor Mike Braun's administration to improve the health of Hoosiers by pushing for healthier food choices. Old Town Grocery in Jeffersonville says they've just recently heard about the change and have been hit with a wave of questions.
Big questions. I'm not sure I'm going to contact my warehouse manager and the company that runs our retail systems and see if they've heard anything. But as far as like sending it to the store, they've sent us nothing.
The staff at Old Town Grocery suggested other measures like educational programming instead of the ban. New tonight in Kentucky, a man has been arrested after a deadly shooting over the weekend in Radcliffe. The Radcliffe Police Department saying the shooting happened Saturday, December 27th on Smith Street, just south of Dixie Highway, South Dixie Boulevard, 25-year-old Tyler Davis is charged with murder tonight. According to his arrest citation, Davis and a man reportedly got into a verbal argument, and that's when Davis pulled out a gun. As the argument continued, the man went into a bedroom of the mobile home, according to police. Davis then shot through the bedroom door, and that's when the man was killed. Davis was arraigned Monday morning, and a judge set his bond at $500,000. He's expected to be back in court on January 9th. In just 2 days, the beloved Baxter Avenue movie theaters will be closing the doors permanently. Early last week, Apex Entertainment said December 31st will be their very last day in the Highlands. In a statement, Apex says it wanted to stay, but was left out of the future redevelopment plans for the Mid-City Mall, which is currently up for sale. The theater has been a fixture along Bardstown Road for nearly 30 years. Value Market has also indicated it will likely be closing as its lease expires in 2026. The future of the Louisville Free Public Library branch is also still up in the air as its lease expires in the summertime.